this recreation is so accurate that they even did Tfue's aim correct, because just wow. Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today, well, I can't even show you directly what we're talking about, right? That clip in the beginning, it's kind of a reenactment, a safer one. We're talking about the guy from Fortnite. Yep, that guy, not the racist one.
105 on one of these players.
He went on a hunt for an invasive species, wild hogs. Now, it's important to note that I don't personally see a problem with the events that transpired, only with how they went about doing it, how it played out. Tfue has been into all kinds of outdoor activities, and he's capturing them for the world to see. He's done it, vlogs, etc. He's done it his whole life. Like that one guy from the game show where he was basically tricked into being live streamed naked in an apartment in the middle of nowhere, and he's forced to survive purely off of sweepstakes prizes. But this one in particular really riled up the internet. That clip at the beginning is our recreation, right? That's all I can show you because I don't want this to get taken down. But Tfue was literally on the back of this truck trying to down this wild hog, and it kind of peeved everyone off. You're probably asking, it's probably a bunch of sissies, right? A bunch of liberals, a bunch of animal lovers, right? No, it's I'm gonna ask you to slow down for just a second, because before you see all the other people talking about it's suffering and that it's needless violence, see that right there? That's what I believe to be a B&T APC 9K. It's chambered in 9mm. And well, that's great for like maybe sport or home defense, etc., whatever you're gonna use it for. The choice of caliber here from Tfue is god awful. It just like his aim. Yes, that's exactly how that went down. The hog was suggested to be put down with a good old stabbing at the end of it because they actually couldn't off the thing, right? Now, if they had nothing else, right, theoretically, they weren't streaming this for views, they weren't doing it for content, they were like, I don't know, very theoretical, on like a farm, need to protect their land or something, the apocalypse, whatever, right? And that's all they had. That's one thing. But no, that would be way too easy. And before you cry, oh, you're just being a little liberal sissy boy, I am only turned away by the choice of choosing 9mm over something like 5.56 or like 300 Blackout, which are significantly better rifle rounds for getting rid of hogs quick and just getting the process over. Hell, a 308 would have been fine too, right? That would have been perfectly fine. But that's not what he chose at all. He elongated the process way longer than it needed to go on. I see a lot of people saying that it's just like cruel, and some actually check out in referencing the inefficiency of the firearm he chose. Like this guy with this tweet, absolutely disgusting. Vile human being trying to justify shooting an animal live streaming while laughing using a gun that obviously wouldn't take it out of its misery instantly. It's glaringly obvious you don't care about the environment or the animal you hunted, considering you live streamed literal slaughter while laughing using a gun not meant for hunting. I would call you a pig, but that would be such an injustice. You are the most invasive species at all, a piece of shit human. Yeah, you get the point. You have your usual replies also in here to this tweet saying that this guy is just, he just doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a snowflake. He's weak and needs testosterone, etc. Right? Some of these come from a reasonable place, like a basis, but then they build off of just labeling everyone as soft because they've seen the label used in the correct context like a handful of times, and then they're like, well, if that's been correct, then I can use it to win an argument or to seem superior morally or to stay dominant in a conversation. There's a whole bunch of psychology I can get into, which I spent way too much money on that psychology class. Never again. Learned some shit in there. I'm not fucking doing it. I would recommend it, but you're gonna regret it. But this makes straight up, like, consider the fact that the whole thing he just detailed, right? It makes Tfue, if you've seen the actual video, it makes him look like a fucking madman. Makes him look insane. And he knows nothing about guns if he has any. If he does have any, he should really learn about caliber differences. Like that's a huge fucking deal, because there's no way he didn't pull out this BNT and look at it as like, you know what, maybe 9mm is overkill. Maybe we should go down to 22 or something. Maybe that'd be better. What the fuck? Why did we even use 9mm? Anyway, Tfue put out his response, right? Boars in Florida are considered invasive species due to their destructive impact on the environment. These wild boars are also known as feral hogs. They cause damage by 1. Rooting, which is just boars rooting to the ground of food, disrupting vegetation, causing soil erosion. You know, not really bueno if you ask me. Crop damage, they feed on agricultural crops, leading to significant economic loss for farmers. Predation, which is, you know, they prey on native wildlife that kind of fucks with the ecosystem. The biodiversity is kind of screwy. It's, you know, it's one of those things that it's a huge deal because it can basically collapse an entire ecosystem if it goes unchecked. Competing for resources, again, that plays on predation. They take up space where they don't fit, right? Causing issues with the balance in an ecosystem. Disease transmission. Boars spread diseases to wildlife, domestic animals, posing risks to public health and livestock. Efforts to control and manage boar population. Florida, essential to mitigate the environmental damage caused by these invasive species. And yeah, no, not the biggest one, but it's pretty fucking bad, right? The USDA estimates about 2.5 billion with a B, in damage every year. All of these absolutely true, but I think people overlook it way too fast because it's like, oh, not the animals. Like I see that all the time on posts, people who use normal calibers for reasonable situations. Instead of this fucking whatever the fuck this was, which I'm not really a huge fan of, like watching that kind of content. It's subjective. It's not really my thing. I'm not going to sit there and watch a bunch of animals die because, you know, I'm not entertained by that, right? Some people are. You can have your opinion on that as you will. It's kind of the purpose of, you know, having a functioning brain, that you're going to be diverse in your opinions than someone else, right? So what in fact, the reality is that these things would not think twice about eviscerating you just for like looking at them by mistake. They're kind of assholes. Although it's rare, it happens to farm workers, right? They're the biggest risk because you know, they're out there with crops and shit and livestock, and they happen to come across a pack of them. It's one of two things gonna happen. They'll get aggressive, or they're just gonna run away, right? You probably want them to just run, but they're still around to fuck up your crops. You know, the farmer loses out. It's a domino effect, butterfly effect, if you will. You're pretty much considered dead if they do attack, like 50% of the time, because that's if one gets you, right? They're about 240 pounds each. They're not really anything to screw around with. And because of their size, they tend to fuck up things pretty fast. Tearing up wildlife is primarily the biggest concern. I know I've been going a little bit in circles, but these little bastards are pretty awful. But you know what else is? Yeah, missing your fucking shots. You can aim in Fortnite just fine, man. Just be better. Come on. I know I'm ragging on a little bit, but yeah, seriously, kind of weird that he enjoyed that so much. And then while using inefficient caliber, he has to see that like that makes him look bad. If you're going to go handle a situation like that and then live stream it, that's one thing. A 9mm? The fuck? Dude, it makes you look like a monster. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up here. Thank you for sticking around through the whole video, if you did. Subscribe to stick around. Tell your friends about me. Get the word out there. I'm trying to grow this channel as much as I can. And if you have any feedback for me, let me know either in the comments or in the Discord server in the link below. You can also hang out there, get updates, ask me questions on if shit's coming out. You know, you're looking for someone to play a game. There's a couple people in there. I'm in there. I know. I'm pretty busy though. I won't lie. I'm trying to get as much out as I can. and I'm trying to entertain as many people as I can. So if I can get feedback of any kind, greatly appreciated. Like if you like it, dislike if you dislike it. And this has been me talking about using the worst fucking caliber to shoot a goddamn hog with.